I built a Type R for 10 grand, and the tuner crowd is furious because I didn't spend a single dollar chasing horsepower. Not one. And by the end, I'll give you the exact final number, but here's the part that makes people mad. On the FK8 Civic Type R, spending money on power is the dumbest move you can make with your first $10,000. Here's why. The FK8 already makes 306 horsepower from the factory. It already has Brembo brakes, a helical limited slip diff, and suspension geometry that embarrasses cars costing twice as much. You are not rescuing a beat-up Civic. You're refining a precision instrument. And the mistake almost everybody makes is treating it like it needs saving instead of sharpening. Let's kill the horsepower fantasy right now. An intake, exhaust, and tune on the K20C1 nets you maybe 30 to 40 wheel horsepower on a good day. And that package realistically runs $2,500 to $4,000 once you add a downpipe and intercooler to do it safely. Diminishing returns on a car, already making $306. Your $10,000 does far more good somewhere else, which is why every dollar in this build goes into the two things you actually feel through the steering wheel. Rule number 1, and it's non-negotiable: maintenance before modification. A Type R with fresh fluids, new plugs, and a correct alignment feels dramatically better than one with a $2,000 coilover kit bolted on top of neglected basics. So the first $600 to $800 goes to consumables. NGK laser iridium plugs. Part number ILZKR7B11S, roughly $70 for a set of 4. Replaced every 25 to 30,000 miles regardless of what the maintenance minder tells you. Do the transmission and diff fluid together, because on the FK8, the limited slip lives inside the transmission. Use Honda MTF3 or you get notchy shifts and accelerated LSD wear, $60 to $80. Model RBF 6060 brake fluid, 1 bottle flushes the whole system, 617-degree dry boiling point, so it's genuinely track ready. And if you see any track time, step the engine oil up to Model 8100 XS 5W40 for the higher HTHS. Street only? Stock 0W20 is fine. Now the biggest single upgrade in the whole build, and it's not what tuners expect. Ditch the factory 20-inch wheels. They're heavy, visually busy, and they lock you out of the good tire sizes. Go 18 by 9.5 NK RPF ones. That's the canonical budget performance wheel, roughly 16 to 17 pounds each, made with NK's MAT process. About $800 to $960 for a set of 4. That unsprung weight drop you feel instantly in steering response and braking. Fitment matters here, or your rolling fenders. On the FK8 in 18 by 9.5, stay in a plus 38 to plus 45 offset for street use without rubbing. Go plus 35 and you're rolling that rear fender. This is exactly why you check threepiece.us before you order anything. It aggregates real-world fitment from owners running the exact wheel, offset, and spacer combos. And on a car this fitment sensitive, it's the difference between a clean install and an expensive mistake. Wrap those in Michelin Sport 4S, 265 for 35 R18, the benchmark street tire, around $880 to $1080 for a set. Tight budget? The Continental ExtremeContact Sport 802 tests competitively for $640 to $800 and saves you a couple $100. Both defensible. But here's the mistake that makes me crazy: buying NKs and then bolting on cheap handcooks to save money. The tire is your only contact patch. Do not cheap out on the one thing touching the road. Suspension. The gold standard is the KW Variant 3 coilover, roughly $2,100 to $2,400, with independent compression and rebound damping, so you can dial in street comfort or track stiffness without swapping parts. It transforms body control while staying livable on broken pavement. Can't stretch that far? The Fortune Auto 510 series, built in Tacoma, single adjustable, custom spring rates at order, saves you $500 to $800 and is a legitimate alternative. Now the mod nobody talks about that experienced FK8 owners swear by: Hardrace polyurethane or spherical control arm bushings, $300 to $450. The factory front lower arm rear bushing deflects under cornering, and after 30 to 50,000 miles, your steering goes vague. Replace it and turn in tightens measurably. Do it during the coilover install since the subframe's already apart. And skip anything under $800 in coilovers. Godspeed, Entry Megan, Amazon specials, they degrade the handling on a chassis this precise. Brakes. Do not touch those Brembo calipers, they're excellent. The right budget upgrade is pads and fluid, not hardware. Hawk horsepower, S50 up front, 120 to 160 for the axle set, better bite than OEM without cold bite problems. Same pad in the rear for balance, 80 to 100. Planning real track days? DTC 60 up front, but expect more dust and noise. And avoid drilled rotors, they crack under thermal cycling. If you need rotors, DBA 4000 slotted. Slotted, not drilled. Install order is where people wreck the budget. Maintenance first, then a baseline alignment check so you know where the car sits. Suspension and bushings second, before wheels because you need the final ride height. Then, alignment immediately after, set to about -1.5 to 2 degrees front camber. Skip this step, and you'll shred a $900 set of tires in thousands of miles, not tens of thousands. Then wheels and tires, then brakes, cosmetics dead last. For cosmetics, keep it tight. Ceramic tint, 20 rear and 35 front, 200 to 350, and it actually rejects heat, so it earns its keep. A satin black hood wrap on championship white is the community classic, 150 to 300. And replace that fragile front lip with a flexible polyurethane one from Rexpeed or Seabond before you scrape it into oblivion. That's it. Do not impulse buy carbon trim panels. That's how a disciplined build turns into a $12,000 build. Here's the honest downside, because I'm not going to pretend this build is for everyone. You're still making stock power, 306 at the crank. If you're the person who measures a car by its dyno sheet, this build will disappoint you, and you should budget that separate $2,500 to $4,000 power package instead. Also, watch that OEM clutch on hard-driven FK8s. It's a known wear item, 600 to 900 in parts before labor. This build refines. It does not add speed in a straight line. So the number tuners are mad about. DIY the fluids and suspension install. Run the Fortune Auto 510 and Continental tires, and you land comfortably under 10 grand, realistically around 8,800. Pay shop labor for everything, and pick the KW-V3 with Michelin PS4S, you're right at, or just over 10,400. Both are correct. The philosophy is identical either way. Money into wheels, tires, suspension, and maintenance, not horsepower. The result is a Type R that embarrasses far more expensive machinery on a back road or a track day, looks purposeful without being theatrical, and still dailies reliably. That's the correct outcome for a car that was exceptional before you spent a dime. Before you order a single wheel, run your exact setup through threepiece.us to confirm fitment. If this changed how you'd spend your 10 grand, subscribe and drop your build order in the comments. I'll tell you if it's right.